Time for another 10 levels of Freddi Fish's...
I need to get 7 worm noodles!
Sorry, Freddi Fish and Luther's Water Worries. Should this game be called Freddi Fish's and Luther's Water Worries? Or should it be called Luther's Water Worries? Because you're really only playing as Luther. You can play as Freddi if you're playing on 2-player mode. Wow, I got 2 jellyfish in the exact same spot. How did that work? Oh, I got 3 in the same spot. Whoa, I'm lucky here. So it looks like our background for these levels is Easter Island. We're on Easter Island. Those are the famous, oh, how do you pronounce it? I forget if it's Moai or Maui. Does the O come first? I think the O comes first. Anyway, those famous statues. Of course, now they're most famous for being Squidward's house on SpongeBob SquarePants. Rather than, you know, being from an island off the coast of South America, which is the case. Several of them are fallen and they were raised back up. They have been raised back up, I believe.
I need to get 8 worm noodles!
Maybe not all of them have been raised up, though, yeah. Fun fact, the writing from that island, and I know this because I just looked it up, was, there's only 27 examples of writing from that civilization. Like, that civilization is, well, it's one of those famous lost civilizations. So we only have 27 examples of the writing. Rongo Rongo is the name of the writing. Mostly tablets, so I think they call them Rongo tablets. It's pretty cool looking writing. It's got like fish and stuff on it. Yeah. Works well to have that in this game, right? Because this is a very fish-based game.
I can't fire. I'm trapped.
So, because the game is like now positing that some of these large stone heads are underwater. I don't know if that's the case. Have we checked the waters around the island? Around the Easter Island? I believe the local name for it is Rapa Nui, maybe?
In here.
And this concludes the educational portion of the video. Let's get back to video games.
I need to get 6 worm noodles!
Oh, I'm liking this so far. I've been going through these levels relatively quickly, right?
I can't.
Oh no!
I'm trapped in a bubble!
Actually kind of helps me there, because if I had not been trapped in the bubble, I would have been hit by that, what is it, Wiggler? Wiggler, I think is what it's called. I forget what Luther called it earlier. The Wiggle Worm. Like, Wiggle Worm, that sounds like a great name. That's probably not it, though.
Alright, yeah.
Wow, all those, like, 3 worm doodles all in a row. What was that about? What was that about? Well, that was pretty lucky. I wonder if the game takes your lives into account.
Worm noodles!
Like, say you've got 10 lives and the game automatically gets harder.
Alright.
I know some games might do that. Yeah, it feels like something some video games would do. Like, the only example that's really coming to mind, and it's a silly example, but in the video game Banjo-Kazooie, where you have the race against the crocodile to eat those creatures, right? So you turn into a crocodile and you have a race against a crocodile to eat a bunch of creatures. Who can eat the most? The game takes your score into account. So if you're like 1 point behind Mr. Croc, I forget what the villain's name is. Mr. Croc moves more slowly. If you're 3 points ahead, he moves more quickly. If you're like 12 points ahead, he's moving at lightning speed. So the speed of your opponent changes depending on how far ahead you are. And this game could be the same way, where it's like, okay, well, the speed of the bubbles changes depending on how far ahead you are. It doesn't look like that's the case, though. So I feel like in games like that, generally a good strategy is to try to be as close to the limit as possible. It's like if the speed changes when you're 2 points ahead, then always stay 1 point ahead.
I can't fire.
Because if you get an extra point, then boom, the speed's gonna change and you're gonna be in trouble.
This codfish commando action urgency. I can pop bubbles like crazy.
Hey, you know what? This is like what, the fourth or fifth video.
Yeah.
And this is the first time Luther's actually said that whole thing out loud. So it's a Captain Codfish urchin costume. So that's like a superhero costume that he's wearing. I'm glad he finally said it. I was waiting for him to say it. I thought he was going to say it the first time. Because you notice when I get trapped in a bubble, he says that line every time. He's always saying, "Oh, I'm trapped in a bubble!" Or whenever you get the blue token, he repeats the exact same line about blue tokens. It's like, "Hey, that blue thingamabobber, fill up the water."
Worm noodles in here.
He repeats that every time, but he doesn't repeat the Captain Codfish line every time. Weird. I think maybe
I need to get a worm noodles.
it could be that I clicked to fire my mouse and that skipped the entire dialogue about Captain Cod.
All right.
Could be. I'm sure that's just supposed to be a joke based on Captain Kidd, who was a pirate, I believe. So, but because they're fish, instead of having Captain Kidd, they have Captain Cod. Although he's not a superhero. He was not a superhero. He was a captain. But Captain often sounds like a superhero name because of Captain America, who is a superhero, of course.
Oh, no, I can't fire. I'm trapped.
Star of several movies.
Okay, let's go. Yeah.
Oh, and now I've just got a row. I'm in a column of jellyfish. So that's not good. I've got myself stuck here.
I can't fire.
Oh, how did I get hit by a bubble? I'm gonna grab this fish.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, I did get the worm doodle, but I got hit by the jellyfish.
Right now. Okay. Oh no, not again.
Why do I keep getting trapped by a bubble?
Relax.
You got that one, worm doodle.
All right.
Only one more. I think I can do this. We've got no enemies on the board. Got it.
I found enough worm noodles in here.
Level 47.
I need to get 9 worm noodles.
So I've been making a lot of progress. It feels like I've been going really quickly in this video. I'm surprised. That last level didn't work out so well, but these other levels have been going well. Except now, where it takes like 20 seconds before the first worm doodle appears. That's, I'm never a fan of that. Oh, there's that enemy again, the new enemy. I don't know how this anglerfish enemy works.
All right.
Because I haven't been hit by the anglerfish enemy yet. So that's good for me.
Yippee!
Ooh, yeah!
Yeah.
Oh man, getting hit by the seaweed
I
does...
don't think I
Oh,
can
come
use my
on!
slingshot right now.
So that runs out the timer on my super duper stuff, doesn't it?
Right.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, mean old seaweed.
Oh, I don't think
I wonder
can
how they
use my
decided
slingshot
that
right now.
when making this game. Like, what takes precedence? Does the slingshot take precedence? Do the power-ups take precedence? I guess they decided seaweed always takes precedence over everything. Maybe that's how they did it. Because I would have gone with the power-ups always take precedence, period. But that's just me, because that would be making the game a lot easier on players.
I can't fire. I'm trapped. All right.
Usually a lot of you
I can't fire.
I was gonna say
I'm
air.
trapped in a
No,
bubble.
arcade games generally try not to be nice to players. But this one seems to be more on the edge of being nice to players, because it is a game for little kids. That's the target audience.
I can't fire. I'm trapped. Okay, let's go.
A lot of other arcade games try to be as hard as possible and be as difficult as possible to the player. That way the player is constantly losing and has to spend more money on the game in order to win.
I need to get a worm noodles. I can't fire. I'm trapped.
That's a new thing. I haven't seen that before. I don't even know what that thing is. Oh, I got hit by a bubble and jellyfish. So that's another example of like, okay, well, what happens? They were both sort of running concurrently there. Like, which one takes precedence, being stung or being in a bubble? Well, it looks like I got in the bubble. Once the bubble's over, I still was stung. So it looks like they paused the stinging in that case. And that's something I wouldn't do. I would not, like pause a wound at any point, because that, I mean, yeah. I wonder if there would be a way to, like, get around that. So, like, say you're stuck in a bubble and then you purposely get hit by a jellyfish to get rid of the jellyfish, maybe? No, that wouldn't work. But there might be a way to, like, stack, like, bad things to get enemies off the board, maybe, and that's why they didn't do it that way. Yeah, something like, you know, I was in the bubble, and so I decided to get hit by the seaweed, because I'm already in the bubble, it doesn't matter, right? And they don't want the timers of the seaweed in the bubble to be running at the exact same time, because then I'd be getting two things off. I'd be getting a freebie, I'd be getting a 2 for 1. And they want that. They want it separately to make the game harder. Speaking of harder and easier, hey! Only 7 worm doodles this time. Slightly easier. Yeah, no way to get rid of that seaweed besides touching it, I think. Bubbles, pop bubbles, pop bubbles, pop bubbles. It's like a bubble bath. Oh, come on! I got the 1 token, but I didn't get the worm. Okay, get that worm doodle there, and 1 more to finish off this screen. Oh, there's another token.
I'm trapped in a bubble.
Yeah, it would be nice if you could collect certain items while in the bubble, right? That's something else I might try to do. Like, it's happened enough that I've been annoyed by it, so...
I need to get 10 worm noodles.
Or maybe, like, even if it's just, like, with the seaweed. So if you're trapped by the seaweed, you can still grab a token that's floating down the screen. That seems fair. That seems fair, because you can physically touch it. As opposed to when you're trapped in a bubble, you cannot physically touch an item. I guess that's the logic behind it. Alright! Got the seaweed suit. I mean, like Captain Cod urchin suit. Nice. Oh, 10 worm doodles. I did not notice that. 10 worm doodles this time. That makes it very easy to get the bonus, right? Because you're going to be going on for such a long time.
I swallowed a wiggler.
Wiggler, that's really
Superpower.
But yeah, it's such a long level here because you have to get 10 of them. It's kind of hard not to get all the bonus letters here. I can't get the... I'm trying to get that token. 1 more letter and 2 more worm doodles. Got that worm doodle. Did not get those letters. 1 more letter. Oh, come on.
I can't find
might get the worm noodle here now.
I found enough
Got
worm
it.
noodles in here.
But sadly, I was not able to get the letter B, and so I didn't get the bonus in that particular level.